Hello, I'm KHY, creator of Physarum Slime Mode Simulator. I'm a solo indie game dev getting ready to release my first game on Steam. In this video, I will be summarizing all the things I did to try to market the game and show all the data and metrics that I've gathered. If you're an indie dev yourself, please don't take anything in this video as advice. I encourage you to use this video to inform your own decisions, and if you notice anything I'm doing horribly wrong, please comment below. I have no idea what I'm talking about. For context, here is a quick overview of my game. Physarum is a sandbox simulation game that emulates the real-life organism Physarum polycephalum. Create different slime species and see how they react with each other in the same environment. You can control various attributes of your slimes to create unique and emergent patterns. You can also create environments of various media to watch the slimes take more predictable forms. The entire simulation runs on a compute shader that is modified by UI elements. I will make a separate video explaining how the slimes work in more detail if there is enough interest. But I think it is clear now that it is a niche game that isn't for everyone. Let's get into the main topic of this video. So first, we gotta talk about Steam wishlists. From what I've learned, wishlists are one of the most important metrics for a game to be released on Steam. So here's a graph showing all the wishlists I've gotten since the release of my Steam page. I have 87 wishlists at the time of recording. I started the project in April and announced the game with the Steam store page and YouTube trailer on July 10th. This is probably the first marketing mistake. You generally want to release the store page as soon as possible to start collecting wishlists. My store page has only been up for 2 months, which is far too short of a time frame to expect good results. However, this is a small side project that emerged from when I was learning compute shaders for the first time. So there wasn't much time between initial development and the release date to begin with. The total development time was only about 5 months. I'll talk about the spikes and dips in these graphs later on. So how many wishlists should you have? According to this video by Jonas Tyroller featuring Chris Zukowski, Steam looks for about 10,000 wishlists to determine whether a game has value and is worth showing in the algorithm.
If you're really serious and you want to make a big impact on Steam, you need at least about 10,000. The Steam algorithm has recently changed to hide asset flips. It's like really built around that. And they're really aggressive. If you don't reach certain targets, they will start hiding your game more and more.
Yikes.
And that usually happens right around the 10,000 wishlist mark.
So not a great sign for me. Before I talk about what I tried to boost wishlist numbers, I think it is time to address the thumbnail and title of this video. Is it clickbait? Yeah. Is it true? Probably, sort of. Let me explain. One of the reasons wishlists are so important is because you can approximate how many sales you get from your game. Articles I've read have slightly different data, but it seems realistic to expect about 20% of the wishlist to convert to sales in the first week or so. This article by Grey Alien Games has quite a different result, 6.9%, but it only has 14 points of data, and we're just looking for an optimistic estimate. The articles I use will be linked in the description. There's a lot more useful information on wishlist conversions and marketing in them, but to keep things brief, here's a rough revenue calculation for the first week. I'm currently planning to sell my game for $6 USD, so if we take 20% of my 87 wishlists and multiply that by 6, then subtract the 30% Steam cut, I end up with about $73 USD. I paid 139 Canadian dollars, including tax, to set up the Steam store page to begin with. But to keep it simple, I will just equate this to $100 USD, since I'm not sure if it is taxed the same in the US. So I should expect to lose about $27 USD in the first week or so. To keep things clear, all the currency amounts I talk about from now on will refer only to US dollars. I should also note that this is a very optimistic estimation because I know at least about 10 of those wishlists are from friends and family. Some of them are getting free copies and some of them I know are not going to purchase the game. Also, I expect to get lower than a 20% wishlist to sales conversion. Pretty bad news so far. Well, it gets worse. I also ran a $250 Facebook ad in July, and I'm going to run another $250 Facebook ad when the game releases. Additionally, I had music composed for both the trailer and my game. This was done by a composer friend of mine who gave me an estimate of about $5,200 for all the work done. This puts me at a pitiful revenue estimate of negative $5,727 for the first week of release. So you may be wondering, why didn't I put that number in the thumbnail? Surely that'll get even more clicks. Well, the numbers I used to calculate revenue were very rough, and the wishlist analytics really varies between different games. But luckily for me, the Facebook ads were generously paid for by a friend who works at Facebook and had some extra ad credit. My composer friend was also nice enough to do all the music work for free. According to him, the music cost estimate would be a fair price for a professional and experienced composer, but due to the simplicity of the work, I probably could have gotten very similar music from subscription services or websites like Fiverr with a little bit of searching. So you can be the judge of how bad the projections really are for this game. Now let's take a closer look at the advertising. To market this game, I told friends and family, used 2 Facebook ads, streamed development on Twitch regularly, uploaded trailers on YouTube, set up a Discord channel, and made posts on both Reddit and Imgur. So I just want to talk about word of mouth really quickly. It seems the traditional concept of word of mouth is becoming less relevant. In the internet age, it's much more valuable to invest in search engine optimization than tell as many friends as possible, at least for someone who has no connections in the industry. It feels like if I told everyone I know about the game and they told everyone they know, the traffic that would generate would pale in comparison to a single day of the YouTube algorithm sharing my game. I started the Facebook ad on July 19th and ran it for 7 days. With a $250 budget, this translates to about $36 a day. Here are some stats for the ad. It reached about 68,000 people and gained about 3,000 link clicks. For those who don't know, you can control the daily budget for a Facebook ad. I'm not sure if there are variables that change this, but from what I've seen, it seems Facebook ads should reach about 104 to 301 people per dollar. This means if you have a set budget, you can reach more people per day in a fewer amount of days, or stretch out the budget to get approximately the same total amount of people with less views per day. I'm not sure what the optimal choice here is. It probably varies greatly depending on your product and budget. I targeted only men of ages 20 to 42 in various science and technology categories. Since I had a limited amount of clicks, it seemed reasonable based on my other metrics. I think the age range ended up exactly right based on this tapering chart. The ad ended up almost exclusively on people's mobile feed. I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but it is a little concerning since the app only works on desktop PCs and laptops with dedicated GPUs. The Facebook ad definitely boosted daily wishlists, but nothing too impressive. I can't seem to find a way to show what the original ad looked like, but it was a clip of a montage that played at the end of my main trailer. It seemed like a good choice for something that will autoplay in people's feeds. I decided to make the ad link to the full trailer on YouTube. This probably was not a good decision to optimize wishlists, since it's more clicks to get to the store. I figured it would be a good idea to try and bring traffic to the YouTube video to gain some algorithm recognition. Well, that didn't really work out. So let's talk a little about YouTube. I released the trailer on July 10th alongside the Steam store page. As you can see, I decided to start the trailer with gameplay right away. I thought it would be a cool and immersive way to introduce the game. However, this was probably damaging for YouTube exposure since retention is one of the ways the YouTube algorithm judges a video. Once people reach the first exciting montage of the video, the retention does okay, but only about 19% of viewers reach that point. There are some parts of the trailer I'm not quite happy with, but I'm satisfied with how it turned out considering it was planned and edited in about 3 days. Here are my metrics for views. You may remember that I had 3,000 clicks on the Facebook ad. Honestly, I don't know how so little of those clicks translated to views. Especially if we consider that I already had 163 views before the ad. Obviously there could be bots and maybe some people click the link and immediately leave, but overall the Facebook ad did surprisingly poorly for the trailer on YouTube. $250 is actually quite small for an advertising budget, so maybe that should be expected. YouTube really did not help much to show the video to people either. My video gained an astounding 31 impressions over 33 days, less than 1 impression a day. I'm not particularly surprised as this is a trailer with a slow start for the unknown niche game, but it's still disappointing. I should mention I also released a release date reveal teaser on July 30th. I thought the shorter runtime and better retention would do better in the algorithm, but the results are mostly the same and there isn't much data on it because it hasn't been up for that long, so I won't be going into detail about it. Alright, let's take a look at my Twitch channel next. You gonna hit me with the resident sleeper? I try to stream as much of the development of my games as possible. I answer all the questions about my projects and help others in their own projects when I can, which currently takes the most time and energy out of anything I do for marketing. Honestly, I'm still debating if it's worth a negative impact to my productivity. It's hard to tell with such low numbers, but I do believe I get 1 or 2 more daily wishlists on average when I stream. I've streamed here and there over the years, but I only started to seriously stream game development in November of last year. I'm happy with the amount of followers I got, but I just can't seem to retain a good live viewership. Of course, it's already an uphill battle considering the largest programming and game dev streams in the science and technology category only gets about 200 to 300 views. Watching programming just isn't that popular right now on the platform, which I suppose is understandable. The big view spikes here are raids from fellow programmer streamer Stragger. These help boost the numbers, but not quite enough to get the 3 average viewers for a sub button. The raid on July 12 was particularly helpful in boosting Wishlist since the trailer just came out and I had somewhere to point people to. Strager's currently working on his fast JavaScript linter and gives great code advice. Check him out if that's something you're interested in. I also decided to create a community Discord during the time I was streaming. It is currently the best place to get all the latest updates with the progress preview posts I make for all my projects. I also have channels just to hang out and chat between streams. Bug reporting and slime preset sharing will also be done through this Discord in the future. Join using the link in the description if you're interested. I don't know how much longer it'll take to get the 3 average viewers required for a Twitch sub button, but I don't think it really matters if there isn't a large enough community. So I'll just keep doing what I'm doing for a while and see what happens. This stuff takes time. So you probably noticed this big spike in all the graphs. It is the day I posted about my game on various subreddits. The posts are what you'd expect, the same 30-second clip from the Facebook ad and a brief description of the game. I will link my profile in the description if you'd like to see more posts. The post in r/procedural generation did particularly well, but I responded to every comment I got to keep engagement up. I'm surprised the post on the Unity subreddit didn't do as well, as I thought Physarum was a novel way to use the engine. The post starting to become inactive in about 2 days, which seems normal for Reddit. Although posting on Reddit was a last-minute decision, I'm glad I did it, as it was the most successful marketing attempt I've had. I never really used Reddit before, other than reading 1 or 2 posts from Google searches. And really quick, I did make a post on Imager, but it literally got 0 views. There's probably something I don't understand with that platform. Marketing this game was certainly a challenge, especially with such a short time frame. I think the uniqueness of the game is both the strongest and weakest point of the game, but I hope I am able to reach a target audience. The release and announcement date were quite rigid as I needed to dodge the Steam summer sale, as well as the big titles that start coming out at the end of the year. I couldn't dwell on this project too long as I needed to return to my main project that I started in 2014 as soon as possible. A big part of the reason why I decided to turn this experimental project into a product is actually to practice marketing and releasing something on Steam, so I don't screw up the main game's release. I will definitely release devlogs for the main game on this channel soon. I personally was never interested in social media, so a lot of this was a learning experience. For example, I'm still deciding if starting a Twitter or an Instagram would be beneficial at all for my projects. There doesn't seem to be much I can do differently to market my main game, but a much longer time frame should be very beneficial. I could find a publisher, but that seems next to impossible as a solo dev new to the industry. I also did not contact press and content creators. I'm still considering whether that's worth my time for Physarum, since the game is so small and the time frame is so short, but I suppose it wouldn't hurt. Wishlists certainly aren't everything, so I will be looking for new metrics and new ways to get attention to the Steam page in the future. I hope this video wasn't too much of a lecture, and can at least help out my fellow indie game devs. Before I end the video, I want to credit Sebastian Lague and Dr. Jeff Jones for the inspiration to make this project and learn compute shaders. I sent them both an early beta of the game months ago, and they were both nice enough to spend some time to try it. They seem to have enjoyed and have fun with it, so that's a good sign. And of course, subscribe if you want to see future devlogs for my weird games and projects. And ask all the questions you want in the comments about anything to do with my game dev journey or about this project. Check out my Twitch stream or join my Discord if you want to ask questions live. There's still some finishing touches for Physarum that I will stream, but I will be streaming development for my main game almost immediately after Physarum comes out on August 30th. And finally, if you'd like to support me directly, consider becoming a patron. I started solo game dev full-time immediately after I graduated university in 2019. I currently don't have any sources of income, so money has been tight. Any support for my monthly expenses really do help me a lot and is greatly appreciated. I can only continue game dev for as long as my savings allow. I'll be adding more perks like early access to playable demos, exclusive progress updates, and devlog credit shoutouts very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.